Welcome to Michelle Bell's Gaming, and may the 4th be with you. So today it is May the 4th, and I want to talk to you about Star Wars in Japan. So, I want to first show you this picture here. This is actually a spread from a magazine that was released in a series of volumes in the lead up to the Force Awakens movie. And it's basically promotional materials. It shows different stuff from all the different movies, from the first ones, from the prequels, and information about the upcoming movie. And here is some information all about the Star Destroyer. It shows stuff about props, characters, and so on. This shows you different models of Star Destroyers and information about the design, and also about the cleaning up of the models and things like that. So it was really nice, and you could buy it for about, I think, 800 or 900 yen, which is roughly $8 or so American. Also over here, I want to show you this book. This actually is an art book that came from the Star Wars Visions art display in Tokyo and Shizuoka. I got this in Shizuoka. The Shizuoka Museum of Art actually put on this display, and it was very gorgeous. It was full artwork from many different artists around the world about Star Wars, and there was also costumes, props, and so on. This one was my favorite, the Darth Vader helmet. They actually used a special kind of glue, oil, acrylic kind of mixture to make this actually, these raindrop was actually 3D. They really popped out from the actual painting. Here's Luke in his X-Wing. Just some really great artwork. And you could see everything at this display. They had costumes, they had Luke's original costumes, they had all the different lightsabers on display, the actual lightsabers from the movies, and so on. Just some really fantastic stuff that you could see while you were there. You could see Stormtrooper costumes, you could see models from the original shoots, all kinds of stuff. So that was really amazing. Next, I want to talk to you about this Star Wars game for the Famicom that you see here in the background. So, this is it here, Star Wars. And this was actually released only in Japan, this particular game. And it's a very interesting game. It was released by Namco. You can see that it's got English in it, because Star Wars has English, even though it was not actually released in America. Now, these are a series of stickers which you were able to put on your game on the top of the cartridge. You could write your name on it to put like what game it is, so that you have you can see what game it is if you've got them lined up on a shelf or something, or some art from the game. You could do that too. And then here we have the instruction manual, which is just what you would expect from a Star Wars instruction manual, and so on. So, this game was originally designed, like I said, for Japan only. And of course, as a Famicom game done by Namco, it has a lot of non-canon material, shall we say. I'm going to go ahead and just start it up here. I've got my Hudson secondary controller, and I'll explain why in a second. But I'm going to go ahead and start it up here, and I'll show you. There's two different difficulties, Novice and Pro. Pro is very difficult. Novice is also very difficult. You are one-hit kills, and there's only 2 continues. However, if you have this second controller, which I have, there is actually a level select cheat which you can use, so that you can go back to things. So there's Luke, finding out that Princess Leia needs help, and some Jawas have taken R2-D2. So let's see if we can get those back, using this lightsaber that Luke didn't really use before. But hey. Oh. And as you can see, I just got killed. Now, this is actually kind of a unique setup. I am playing this on the original Famicom, which, as you can see, is plugged up to a VCR, which is then plugged up to my FrameMeister, and then I've got the monitor and the stereo and all that kind of stuff, which I mentioned the last time. But in all honesty, this is a pretty good way to get good looking quality picture out of the Famicom system. So here I am, just kind of going through. The game itself is fairly simple, but it's also fairly easy to get killed. And with only about 3 lives or so, and 2 continues, you can see how this could be a really tough game. Here's our first stormtrooper, I think. Now you can get force power-ups, but those actually just give you the continues. Apparently, you can't actually continue at all without the force power-ups. So now, I'm going to put in the cheat. You press down on the extra controller, which you have to have an extra controller plugged in to do this. Up on the first controller, and then press start. When you go in here, oh, perhaps I did that wrong. Let's try it again. You press down, I believe it is, and up, and then start. There we go. And now I can select a level. So let's see some levels here. I don't know what some of these levels are. We'll find out. Haven't actually played very far into this game. So this is something. Looks like some sort of Egyptian kind of thing or something. I'm not sure where this is supposed to be. Nor do I know how to reach up there. How do I get up there? Huh. Well. Oh, perhaps I can jump onto that? Well, oh, I can climb. Ah, I see. Okay. Those are vines. Couldn't tell what that was. And I'm dead. So now, let's try another level here. Let's see if I can find something else. Maybe I can find one of the flying missions. Nope, doesn't look like that's a flying mission. Looks like that's the Death Star. Okay. To jump over that, and there's a Stormtrooper. So as I mentioned, this game was only released in Japan. And I'm dead. And I'm dead again. And you can kind of see why it was only released in Japan. It doesn't look particularly good. Although the graphic design is actually quite interesting. And the sound is quite good too. Let's see, that was level 7? 8? Let's do level 7. Nope. Let's try a different one. I want to try and find one of the flying missions. I don't know what all of these missions are. I do believe that 13 is the last level, which is the Death Star. Let's do level 10. Here we go. Okay, so this is one of the Millennium Falcon levels, where we need to shoot stuff, of course, like in the movies where you're flying around in the cockpit. So here we are in the Millennium Falcon. I guess we went to light speed, hyperspeed, sorry. And now I can shoot at TIE fighters. And I'm dead. Only takes 1 hit, even with shields. So, it does make one wonder how you would really play this game. And now, let's see if I can show you the last level here. So the last level is this Death Star trench stage, which is done like a top-down shooter. Although, of course, if you touch the side of anything, you're dead. If you get hit by a laser, you're dead. If you get hit by anything, you're dead. Just lots of dead. Except for those power-ups, which I can't seem to reach. All in all, this is moderately not so bad. And I'm not sure what that was, but I guess it's a good thing. But is this a race? Is this a Death Star trench race? Gonna speed up. Now the question is, did I go in the right one? Yes, I did. It reminds you a little bit of like RC Pro-Am or something like that. I'm not sure if those green laser blasts can actually damage you or not. Almost doesn't seem like they can. And I'm not sure what that timer at the top of the screen is. Maybe that's my shields or something? Or maybe it's distance to the, I see. So, we've got a goal set up, like a checkpoint in a racing game, except this is not a racing game, and I'm dead. And I spawned into death. Wow, that's a little bit cheap. You would think the game would make it where you couldn't spawn into death. So apparently I did not reach the timer, the checkpoint in time, and the Death Star blew up our planet. So, that's a little look at Star Wars for the Famicom, an amazingly awkward game that never made it to Japan, to America. I hope you enjoy. May the 4th be with you, and have a nice day. May the Force be with you. Always.